Hello everyone. Welcome to Decoder Box. In the early days of 1995, the people of Hot City, located in the Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region, were abuzz with talk of a horrifying massacre. A local family of influence had tragically lost 4 members all at once, shaking the entire region to its core. This case would take over a year to resolve, but even after the details were made public, differing opinions continued to swirl. Watch this video to learn about the tragic case we are bringing to you today. The tragedy at the vice president's family. On the afternoon of January 19, 1995, the Hot City Police Department received an urgent report from the Inner Mongolia Forestry Academy. The informant revealed that a horrific crime had occurred at the private residence of Bao Wenxiang, the 56-year-old vice chairman of the academy, his wife, Wang Zhichuan, aged 49, his second son, Bao Yongfu, 21, who was a forestry police officer, and his daughter, Bao Yuanfang, 17, a student at high school number 5, were all found dead. For members of the family had perished in their home, and the scene was nothing short of horrifying. Upon receiving the report, the Criminal Police Brigade from the city office, along with the Xiancheng branch and technical staff, rushed to the scene. The police were confronted with a gruesome sight, for bodies were scattered throughout the house, with blood spattered everywhere. 3 of the victims were found lying face-up in a bedroom, while the head of the household, Bao Wenxiang, was discovered face-down near the bathroom door. Law enforcement quickly set up a perimeter to secure the scene and formed a task force to urgently investigate the case. At the crime scene, they collected 10 key pieces of evidence. The horrific discovery was made by the eldest son of Bao Wenxiang, Bao Tianshan. He recounted that around 2 p.m., after returning home, he was immediately struck by the metallic scent of blood. Overcome with worry, he rushed inside, only to be met with the shocking sight of his entire family lying lifeless. The house was drenched in blood. His anguished screams drew the attention of the neighbors. Despite their attempts to console him, Bao Tianshan could only clutch his loved ones and cry. Neighbors soon helped him make his way to the police station to report the crime. The crime scene and initial police assessment. The crime scene was a house with 4 bedrooms and a living room, with all doors and windows intact. The main door faced west, and upon entering, there was a large living room with a dining table to the north and 2 bedrooms opposite each other to the east. According to Bao Tianshan, the north bedroom belonged to his sister, Bao Yuanfang, and there were no signs of disturbance in that room. However, the bedroom of his parents, located in the south, was ransacked, and belongings were scattered everywhere. In this room, the police found a gun, a men's wallet, and a camera on a small table. A magazine clip on the floor had only 1 bullet remaining. 3 victims, Wang Zhichuan and her 2 children, were found lying in the bedroom, each covered with their own blankets. Bao Wenxiang was found face down in the bathroom. All victims had been shot in the head, with Bao Wenxiang and his son Bao Yongfu each sustaining 2 gunshots. There were no signs of struggle between the victims and the perpetrator, likely due to the speed of the shooting. Upon inspecting the rifle, the police found no fingerprints, indicating that the perpetrator had intentionally wiped the crime scene clean. No blood-stained footprints were found, but there were clear signs that the floor had been wiped down. Though Tianshan's and his brother's rooms were searched, large amounts of cash remained untouched in the drawers, and valuable items like jewelry were left behind. A dog was locked on the balcony but was still alive. Police speculated that the killer's motive was not robbery, but rather intentional murder. The fact that the killer stayed behind to clean the scene suggests they were calm and calculated, possibly planning the crime in advance. Moreover, The killer did not come for valuables. The primary target appeared to be the family members, particularly Bao Wenxiang and his son Bao Yongfu, as both were shot twice, more than the other victims. This raised suspicions that the killer had specifically targeted Wenxiang and Yongfu. The crime scene did not leave many clues, no signs of forced entry, no struggle, which led the police to believe that the perpetrator might have been someone familiar with the family. As a result, the investigation was expanded to include the family's social relationships, focusing on Bao Wenxiang and Bao Yongfu. A task force of 100 police officers interviewed 425 people, including friends, neighbors, and acquaintances of the Bao family. Autopsies showed that the time of death of all 4 victims was January 18th. In particular, the body of Bao Wenfuang, 17, showed signs of abnormalities, possibly related to her having had multiple sexual encounters. However, no traces of semen were found in her vagina. Examining the victims' relationships, Bao Tianshan, the eldest son of Bao Wenxiang, revealed that his younger sister led a promiscuous lifestyle, frequently associating with multiple male friends. This had caused tension within the family. As police delved into Bao Wenxiang's relationships, they uncovered that he had a poor reputation, often clashing with others, and was known for being greedy and womanizing. The most significant conflict in Bao Wenxiang's life was with Ouyang Cheng, a former secretary of a town in Olazabo County. The tension between Ouyang Cheng and Bao Wenxiang stemmed from a scandal involving Ouyang's personal life. Ouyang had an affair with the personal secretary of a friend named Wang Jibin. After being introduced by Wang, when Ouyang's wife discovered the affair, she reported it to Bao Wenxiang, who at the time was the county party secretary and Ouyang Cheng's superior. Although Bao Wenxiang himself was no different in his personal habits, both men indulged in heavy drinking, gambling, and prostitution. Bao's higher rank allowed him to conceal his own vices. Upon learning about Ouyang Cheng's affair, Bao Wenxiang acted decisively, removing Ouyang from his position and expelling him from the party, resulting in Ouyang Cheng losing everything: his job, his marriage, and his honor. Ouyang Cheng could not accept this loss and harbored deep resentment. In a drunken state, he once vowed to kill Bao Wenxiang's entire family to avenge his downfall. Though Ouyang later became wealthy by opening a nightclub with the help of his friend Wang Jibin, his grudge against Bao Wenxiang seemed to persist. Interestingly, after Bao Wenxiang moved to Hot City, the two crossed paths several times. Bao Wenxiang even extended an apology to Ouyang Cheng, leading to a gradual reconciliation between them. According to Ouyang Cheng and statements from neighbors, on the afternoon of January 18th, Ouyang had visited Bao Wenxiang's house to drink alcohol. Ouyang insisted that their meeting had no connection to the massacre, as the conflict between the two had already been resolved. However, after a thorough examination of the crime scene, police discovered Ouyang Cheng's fingerprints on a glass at Bao Wenxiang's house, raising doubts about his testimony. Although Ouyang Cheng claimed he returned home immediately after drinking and had no witnesses to confirm his whereabouts, the police lacked sufficient evidence to convict him. They decided to administer a polygraph test, which produced unfavorable results for Ouyang. Despite continuously denying involvement in the crime, Ouyang was detained for a period of time. However, due to a lack of conclusive evidence, Ouyang Cheng was eventually released, and the case remained unsolved. In 1996, China launched a campaign to resolve cold cases, including the Bao Wenxiang family massacre. Authorities in Hot City, with support from criminal experts from Beijing, re-examined every clue and re-interviewed witnesses. Finally, a small detail previously overlooked in the investigation became the key to unraveling the entire mystery. Reopening the case. Law enforcement conducted multiple reviews of the case files, analyzed the crime scene meticulously, and explored all possible theories. After eliminating each person who had conflicts with the Bao family, suspicions began to focus on Bao Tianshan, the eldest son, who had discovered the crime scene. During a meeting on June 15th, officers presented a series of doubts regarding Bao Tianshan. First, there were no signs of forced entry on the doors or windows, suggesting that the perpetrator had entered the house naturally. According to the investigation, a colleague had accompanied Bao Wenxiang home after work, but they did not notice anyone following him. This led to the hypothesis that the perpetrator had already been inside the house. The Bao Wenxiang family consisted of 5 people, but only Bao Tianshan had survived. When questioned about his whereabouts before discovering the bodies, Tianshan claimed he had been visiting a friend for several days, but his answers were inconsistent and raised suspicions. The crime was estimated to have occurred between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. on January 18th, and no one could verify Bao Tianshan's location during that time, meaning he had the opportunity to commit the crime. This newfound focus on Bao Tianshan shifted the investigation in a new direction, prompting further scrutiny into his actions and behavior leading up to the discovery of the massacre. Another line of suspicion revolved around the strained relationship between Bao Tianshan and his father. Tianshan had grown up lacking emotional support and had a tense connection with Bao Wenxiang. Tianshan once managed a canteen, but due to poor management skills, he borrowed 20,000 yuan to cover debts and found himself in financial trouble without receiving any assistance from his family. This could have provided a motive for him to commit the crime. Another key detail involved the Bao family's dog. On the day of the massacre, no one reported hearing the dog bark, indicating that the killer was likely someone familiar to the family, someone the dog did not perceive as a threat. Given that Bao Tianshan was a family member, it is plausible that the dog did not react to him. Friends of Bao Yongfu, the younger brother, also revealed that around 5:40 p.m. on January 18th, Yongfu received a phone call from his older brother, asking him to come home and prepare dinner. After returning home, Yongfu was killed, suggesting that the phone call might have been a crucial part of Tianshan's plan. Inside Bao Wenxiang's bedroom, many fingerprints belonging to Bao Tianshan were found. This was considered unusual, as the father and son did not have a good relationship, and Tianshan rarely entered his father's room. The weapon used in the crime was a rifle belonging to the family, stored in a cabinet, with ammunition kept in a drawer in Bao Wenxiang's bedroom. The fact that the killer knew the exact location of both the gun and ammunition strongly indicated familiarity with the household. Another suspicious detail arose on the day Bao Tianshan reported the crime. He held the rifle and stated that it was the murder weapon used to kill his entire family, despite the fact that forensic analysis had not yet confirmed whether this was the weapon. Tianshan's knowledge of this detail raised further suspicion. Although Bao Tianshan was the primary suspect, no definitive evidence had yet surfaced to conclusively prove that he was the killer. The police faced a complex and tense investigation. If Bao Tianshan was indeed the perpetrator, the question remained: could a minor conflict with his father truly drive him to murder his entire family, including his mother and siblings? The killer's motive was still an enigma, and the clues collected from the crime scene remained frustratingly vague. Despite the growing suspicions around Bao Tianshan, the police were unable to arrest him due to a lack of concrete evidence. Additionally, nearly a year and a half had passed since the time of the crime, making the collection of physical evidence at the scene even more difficult. Ethical and logical challenges also arose. Could his son really murder his parents and siblings? If the conflict was primarily between father and son, why kill the mother and younger siblings? This defied common sense. Another factor that puzzled the police was Tianshan's decision not to flee. Instead, he had actively reported the crime. If he were truly the murderer, Why wouldn't he have tried to escape? Moreover, his report of the massacre led many to believe that he might be innocent. These arguments caused some members of the investigation team to doubt whether Tianshan was indeed the killer. The pressure on the investigative team continued to mount as the public criticized the police and questioned their ability to solve the case. Making a mistake by wrongfully accusing someone, especially the only surviving son of the Bao family, would be a tragedy. The police faced not only public scrutiny, but also the risk of turning the case into an unsolvable mystery. Faced with this dilemma, on June 17, 1996, the city leadership and police held a comprehensive meeting to review the case. All relevant parties, including representatives from the prosecutor's office and the People's Court, thoroughly discussed the suspicions surrounding Bao Tianshan. Vice Leader Wang, along with the police leadership, declared their support for any decision the investigative team would make. The director of the city police department also emphasized their duty to protect the citizens and fight crime. In the end, the meeting concluded with Bao Tianshan being officially designated as the prime suspect in the case. Vice Leader Wang made an immediate decision, ordering coercive measures to be taken and for a surprise interrogation of Bao Tianshan to proceed without delay. This decision marked a pivotal turn in the investigation, placing Bao Tianshan at the center of the case as authorities prepared for the next steps in seeking justice. Shocking truth behind the killer's confession. On June 19th, the police arrested Bao Tianshan and began the interrogation process. By 11:40 p.m., Tianshan showed signs of emotional collapse. At 1:20 a.m. on June 20th, he confessed to all of his crimes. Bao Tianshan revealed that, from a young age, he had lived with his grandmother and had a strained relationship with his parents. He was often beaten and scolded by them. One day, Tianshan accidentally witnessed his father, Bao Wenxiang, having an affair with their housemaid while his mother was away. When Tianshan told his mother about the incident, instead of receiving protection, he was severely beaten by his father for snitching. His mother, unable to protect him, lived under constant pressure from her husband. This incident left a deep emotional wound in Tianshan, causing him to view his father as a horrible man and his mother as too weak to defend him. Not long after, Sun discovered another horrifying truth. His father was abusing his younger sister, Bao Vingfuang. Sun became even more furious, but when he told his mother, she not only did not get angry, but also asked him to keep the matter a secret. His mother told Sun that Vingfuang was actually the illegitimate child of his father and another woman, not her biological child. This made Tian's son feel even more indignant and disappointed, because his mother not only did not protect the family, but also covered up his father's wrongdoings. Feeling abandoned, unloved, and under immense financial pressure after failed business ventures without support from his family, Bao Tianshan decided to kill his entire family to seize their assets. On January 18, 1995, Tianshan returned home and began executing his plan. He used his father's rifle, hid on top of a wardrobe, and waited for the right moment. At around 5:20 p.m., when Bao Wenxiang came home, he noticed the bathroom light was still on. As he stepped into the bathroom, Tianshan shot him once and then fired a second shot to ensure his death. At approximately 5:40 p.m., Tianshan's mother came home and was immediately shot dead as well. Shortly after, at 5:50 p.m., his younger sister, Bao Yuanfang, arrived home and suffered the same fate. Afterward, Tianshan called his younger brother, Bao Yongfu, and told him that he wouldn't be able to make it home, asking Yongfu to return early to prepare dinner. When Yongfu arrived, Tianshan killed him as soon as he stepped into the house. He then moved the bodies of his mother and siblings into the bedroom, covering them with blankets before cleaning up the crime scene. Tianshan washed the rifle, wiped the floors, and locked the door before leaving the house to visit his grandmother. The next morning, on January 19th, Tian-shan returned to the house, pretending to discover the massacre, and reported the incident to the security office at the Forestry Academy. The unusual physical details found on Bao Yuanfang's body, as uncovered during the investigation, were the result of her father's abuse, not from any external relationship. On June 25, 1996, Bao Tian-shan was officially detained, and he appeared calm, knowing that the truth had finally come to light. Tian-shan admitted that life after the massacre had been far from easy. He had lived with constant fear, guilt, and torment. Reflecting on his actions, Tian-shan stated that if he could turn back time, he would never have committed such horrific crimes. He had come to realize the magnitude of his mistakes, but it was too late to change the course of his fate. Court's verdict. On July 1st, the Hot City Intermediate People's Court sentenced Bao Tian-shan to death. In his final statement before the court, Tian-shan said, "I will not appeal. I plead guilty and only hope that the law punishes me severely, as soon as possible." The case was closed, and with 4 lives lost at his hands, Tian-shan was handed the highest possible sentence, death. This case leaves us with much to reflect on, especially regarding the hidden dynamics within the victim's family. Fortunately, there were no errors in the investigation, and justice was served properly, with the guilty party being held accountable. What are your thoughts on this case and the killer, Bao Tian-shan? Leave a comment below to let us know. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Decoder Box to stay updated on more thrilling cases from around the world. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.